The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who settle for mediocrity lies in a simple truth: the ability to undertake what others are not willing to do. You are not ordinary, and precisely because of this, you feel the frustration of being trapped in a routine that does not reflect your true potential. There is something more waiting for you, something that goes beyond the mediocrity that suffocates millions of people every day. At this very moment, while you watch this video, your mind is being bombarded by more dopaminergic stimuli than any previous generation has experienced. Notifications, social media, instant entertainment, all conspiring to fragment your attention and drain your mental energy. It is a silent epidemic that is stealing what is most valuable in you, your capacity for deep focus. And if you continue to allow this fragmentation, you will remain exactly where you are, watching others conquer what should have been yours. But here is the crucial truth that separated the visionaries from the common crowd. The same principles that Napoleon Hill documented over 80 years ago continue to be the key to conquering any goal. Hill spent 20 years studying the most successful men of his time: Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and discovered that they all followed a specific method that you can master to transform thoughts into reality. Today I will reveal the 5 complete steps of this revolutionary method that can literally reprogram your mind for success. These are not abstract concepts or vague philosophies. These are the same practical tools that created fortunes and empires, and that you can apply immediately to break the patterns that keep you trapped and start transforming your life today. One defining objective with surgical precision. Napoleon Hill discovered that 98% of people fail because they never precisely define what they want. Intro end. They wander through life with vague desires, nebulous hopes, dreams without substance. This is not enough. Your subconscious cannot work with generalities. Henry Ford revolutionized the automotive industry, not because he dreamed of being successful or making money. Ford had a specific vision: to create an automobile that the common man could buy. He could visualize every detail of that future reality. He faced mockery and doubts, but his mental precision guided him through every obstacle. Your mind is an incredibly powerful search engine, but it needs clear instructions. When you define your objective with surgical precision, not "I want to be rich," but "I want to earn $50,000 per month through my online business by December of this year," something extraordinary happens in your brain. Here's what happens. Your reticular activating system, a neural network that filters information, immediately begins to identify opportunities, resources, and possibilities that have always been there, but were invisible to you. It's like buying a Tesla and suddenly noticing them everywhere on the highway. The cars were always there. You simply weren't programmed to see them. But here's the crucial point. Most people stop at this first step. They define an objective and expect motivation to appear magically. This is a fatal error that keeps millions of people trapped in mediocrity. 2. Activation of burning desire. Napoleon Hill discovered there's a world of difference between a simple desire and what he called a burning desire. A common desire is passive, a timid hope that whispers, "It would be nice if." A burning desire is an obsessive force that consumes your thoughts and directs your actions. A common desire is passive, a timid hope that whispers, "It would be nice if." A burning desire is an obsessive force that consumes your thoughts and directs your actions. Thomas Edison faced over 1,000 failures before perfecting the electric light bulb. Many Wall Street investors considered him crazy, an unproductive dreamer. But Edison possessed something his critics didn't understand: a burning desire that transformed each failure into fuel for the next experiment. He didn't see 1,000 failures. He saw 1,000 ways that didn't work, bringing him closer to the one that would. This burning desire isn't something you simply expect to feel. It's something you deliberately cultivate through specific techniques. You must feed it daily, visualizing not just the goal, but the emotions you'll feel when achieving it, the impact it will have on your life and on the lives of those you love. But here's the crucial point. Mediocrity is the silent enemy that feeds on the lack of burning desire. While you settle for lukewarm desires, others with inner fire are conquering exactly what you dream of having. Visualize yourself already living that reality. Feel the weight of success in your hands. Hear the sounds of your new life. Experience the physical sensations of achievement. Your subconscious is like an architect, who can't distinguish between real and imaginary blueprints. It simply begins to build whatever project you deliver to it with clarity and emotion. When you combine a specific objective with a burning desire, you create what Hill called mental fuel, the psychological energy necessary to overcome any obstacle. What actions will you take today to transform your vague desires into objectives with surgical precision? The great industrialists, inventors, and visionaries who transformed our world did not choose the easy path. They developed the ability to maintain that burning desire, even when everything seemed impossible. Even when doubt, fear, and exhaustion whispered quietly, urging them to abandon their path. And here's something that will shock you. Success isn't about innate talent, luck, or circumstances. It's about following a specific system, step by step, with unwavering discipline. The men Hill studied were not genetically superior. They simply knew and applied principles that most people ignore. You have in your hands the same principles that created fortunes, revolutionized industries, and changed the world. The difference between you and those who will remain trapped in mediocrity is simply this. Will you apply what you're learning, or will you just passively consume the information? Remember, action is the bridge between desire and achievement. Your moment is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Now, define your goal with surgical precision. Write it down. Make it so specific that you can mentally touch it. Then fuel your burning desire through daily visualization, mental repetition, and systematic emotional programming. But there's a crucial element that determines whether these steps will work: timing. Most people fail because they apply these steps at the wrong time of day. Napoleon Hill discovered a specific biological window that drops cortisol and amplifies focus. And what you are about to discover about this timing will completely change your approach. There is a specific time when your brain is naturally programmed to absorb and implement these techniques with maximum power. A moment of the day when your mental resistance is at its lowest and your receptivity to new programming is at its peak. Hill documented that the most successful men of his time instinctively discovered this temporal window. They didn't know the science behind it, but they knew there was something magical about these specific moments. Today, neuroscience confirms exactly why this timing works and how you can use it to multiply the results of any personal development technique. When you discover this secret time and start applying the next steps of Hill's method during this biological window, you'll experience an acceleration in progress that will surprise you. Your mind will become more receptive, your motivation more consistent, your execution more precise. But this is just the beginning. The next steps of Napoleon Hill's method are even more powerful and specific. They will reveal how to transform your burning desire into an infallible action plan, how to mobilize resources you didn't even know you had, and how to develop the unwavering persistence that guarantees inevitable success. The journey you began today will transform not just what you achieve, but who you become in the process. You're about to discover the real power that has always existed within you. And here's the crucial point. What you're about to discover is exactly what Napoleon Hill called the secret of power moments. Most people never realize that there's a specific biological time when their subconscious mind is most receptive to reprogramming. It's literally like having access to the source code of your own mental programming. Hill discovered through his studies with the most successful American industrialists of his time that there's a window of opportunity of approximately 20 minutes, right after waking up, when your conscious mind hasn't yet completely taken control. At this moment, you have direct access to your subconscious. That's why affirmations work best in the morning. Your mind is not yet bombarded by the day's concerns. 3. The secret to conquering challenges through the power of morning. Now that you understand the power of this morning window, let's see how most people waste this opportunity. They wake up and immediately grab their phone, check social media, worry about problems. They're wasting the 20 most valuable minutes of the day, the minutes that could completely reprogram their reality. However, here's the crucial point. The great American visionaries of history discovered this secret instinctively. The third step is to create what Hill called a morning power ritual. I'm not talking about something complicated or that takes hours of your time. I'm talking about a specific sequence of 15 to 20 minutes that literally rebuilds your mentality every day. First, the moment you open your eyes, before even getting out of bed, you declare out loud, "Today I become a better version of myself." Your voice carries vibration, and vibration is energy. Your subconscious doesn't just hear the words, it feels the energy behind them. Next, you visualize with surgical precision exactly how your ideal day will be. Not just "I want things to go well," but specific details. How you will feel when completing each important task, how you will respond to challenges, how you will behave with the people around you. Hill discovered that when you program your subconscious with these detailed images, it automatically works throughout the day to make them a reality. Thomas Edison did exactly this. He would wake up every day at 5 a.m. in his Menlo Park laboratory and spend the first 20 minutes visualizing his inventions working perfectly. Edison understood that creation happens first in the mind, then in physical reality. He wasn't just dreaming. He was programming his brain to find the solutions he needed. 4. Establishing goals with the precision of an architect. The fourth step is where we separate the dreamers from the achievers. Hill discovered that there is a fundamental difference between wanting something and programming your subconscious to obtain it. The difference lies in precision. The great architects of American wealth, like John D. Rockefeller, did not build empires based on vague hopes. Rockefeller had goals so specific that he could describe each stage of building his Standard Oil empire. He knew exactly how much he wanted to earn, when he wanted to earn it, and what he was willing to sacrifice to achieve it. When you write "I want to be rich," your subconscious doesn't know what to do with that information. Rich means what? $1,000? $1 million? By when? How? Your subconscious needs precise instructions, just like a GPS needs a specific address. Hill's method works like this. You take a piece of paper and write exactly what you want when you want it. And here's the secret, exactly what you are willing to give in exchange. The universe does not work based on hope. It works based on energy exchange. But now comes the part that will shock you. Most people fail at this step because they are afraid to commit to precision. They prefer vague goals because then they never have to face direct failure. But this mentality is exactly what keeps them trapped in mediocrity. For example, by December 31st, 2024, I will have a monthly income of $15,000 through my online business. In exchange, I commit to working 4 hours daily developing my product, studying marketing 1 hour per day, and maintaining total discipline in my morning habits for 365 consecutive days. See the difference? Now your subconscious has a detailed map. It knows exactly where to take you and which resources to use to get there. Henry Ford used exactly this approach. When he decided to create the Model T, he didn't say, "I want to make a better car." He wrote precise specifications. A car that would cost less than $500 that anyone could drive, that was reliable enough to run 100,000 miles. He gave his subconscious an exact blueprint, and his subconscious guided each decision to make that vision a reality. And once you master this precision in goal setting, the need for the last essential element naturally emerges. 5. The power of self-confidence through internal evidence. The fifth and most powerful step is what Hill considered the true secret of success: the systematic creation of self-confidence through internal evidence. However, here's the crucial point that separated industry titans from ordinary dreamers. They understood that self-confidence isn't a feeling, it's a certainty based on evidence. Here's the truth that no one tells you. Self-confidence isn't something you simply decide to have. It's something you build brick by brick, through evidence that you create for yourself. And this evidence begins in your mind, before becoming external reality. Every day for 10 minutes, you will sit in silence and mentally review each small victory from the previous day. Not just the big achievements, the small ones too. Did you exercise when you didn't want to? Evidence of discipline. Did you keep calm during an argument? Evidence of emotional control. Did you study even when you were tired? Evidence of commitment. The difference between those who remain ordinary and those who achieve greatness lies in this simple practice. The great collect daily evidence of their strength, while the mediocre collect daily evidence of their weaknesses. Your subconscious maintains an internal file of evidence about who you are. Most people feed this file with failures, errors, moments of weakness. They literally program their mind to believe they are failures. You will do the opposite. Each night before sleeping, you will declare, "Today I proved to myself that I am a disciplined, focused person capable of overcoming obstacles." Each action I took built evidence of my inner strength. Rockefeller did this religiously. He kept a detailed journal where he recorded not just his financial successes, but every moment he demonstrated character, discipline, or vision. He literally built daily evidence that he was the type of person capable of building an empire. And the more evidence he accumulated, the more self-confidence he developed, and the more courageous actions he took. And here's where everything connects in a surprising way. Hill discovered that you cannot simply fake this evidence. You need to actually create it. You need to actually exercise, study, maintain discipline, overcome small obstacles to create evidence that you can overcome big ones. It's like building a muscle. You cannot simply imagine that you are lifting weights and expect the muscle to grow. You need to actually lift the weights. Similarly, you cannot simply imagine that you have self-confidence. You need to create real evidence through real actions. Benjamin Franklin, one of America's founding fathers and most accomplished men, applied exactly this principle. Franklin created his famous system of 13 virtues, where he tracked daily the qualities he wanted to develop. Each night, he marked his victories and failures in each area. It wasn't just blind optimism, it was systematic construction of evidence that he was becoming the man he wanted to be. But here's where it gets fascinating. When you combine real action with mental programming, something extraordinary happens. Your subconscious mind not only records the evidence, it begins to actively seek out more opportunities for you to create even greater evidence. Your brain becomes like a high-precision radar, specifically tuned to detect opportunities that confirm your new identity. You begin to notice possibilities that previously went unnoticed. You start to have insights you didn't have before. You begin to make decisions you wouldn't have had the courage to make before. However, here's the crucial point. This process works both ways. If you feed your subconscious with evidence of failure and incompetence, it will actively seek situations that confirm this negative identity. Napoleon Hill called this the transmutation of sexual energy, not in the physical sense, but in the sense that the energy you would normally waste on doubts, fears, and hesitation is redirected towards creation, action, and building your new reality. Andrew Carnegie, the Scottish-American steel magnate who inspired Hill to study success, used exactly this process. Carnegie said that his greatest secret wasn't knowing the best business strategies, but having programmed his subconscious to believe, based on real evidence, that he was capable of transforming any obstacle into an opportunity. Doubt, fear, and exhaustion may whisper softly for you to abandon your path, but when you have solid internal evidence that you are someone who never gives up, these whispers completely lose their power over you. Remember, the great industrialists, inventors, and visionaries who transformed our world did not choose the easy path. They chose the path that required daily evidence of their ability to overcome obstacles. Remember, your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagined scenarios and real experiences when they are experienced with intense emotion and consistent repetition. But when you combine powerful visualization with real actions that create tangible evidence, you are literally reprogramming your brain at the deepest levels. Remember, your moment is now. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not when you feel ready. Right now. The power to transform your life is not in a complex magical formula. It's in the consistent application of these 5 steps, starting today. The great industrialists, inventors, and visionaries who transformed our world did not choose the easy path. They chose the path that required daily discipline, consistent mental programming, and the courage to create internal evidence before the external world validated their vision. Henry Ford was ridiculed on Wall Street when he said he would put every American family in an automobile. Thomas Edison was called a crazy dreamer by New York newspapers for believing he could illuminate the entire world. Andrew Carnegie was rejected by hundreds of American investors before building his steel empire. But they all had something in common, a subconscious programmed for success through solid internal evidence. The question is not whether these methods work. Hill spent 25 years studying over 500 successful people to prove that they do. And just as they faced obstacles and transformed them into steps towards greatness, you can overcome yours. The only difference between them and you is that they have already started the mental reprogramming process. They have already implemented these 5 steps and created momentum through consistent action. The question is whether you will have the discipline to apply them consistently, even when your logical mind tries to convince you that they are too simple to work. Remember, the great visionaries, industrialists, and inventors who transformed our world did not choose the path of unnecessary complexity. They chose the simple but disciplined path of consistent application of proven principles. Simplicity does not diminish power, it increases it. The laws of physics are simple, but they govern the entire universe. The principles of the mind are also simple, but when applied with consistency and precision, they can literally reconstruct your entire reality. Now you have exactly what I came to deliver: the 5 complete steps that separated the great achievers from the common crowd. Clear definition with surgical precision. Burning desire deliberately cultivated. The power of morning moments for mental reprogramming. Goals written with the precision of an architect. And the systematic building of self-confidence through internal evidence. These are not just concepts you have learned. They are the same practical tools that created fortunes and empires. The same method Ford used to revolutionize transportation, that Edison applied to illuminate the world, that Carnegie implemented to build his steel empire. What actions will you take today to start building internal evidence of the extraordinary person you are destined to become? Because here's the truth. The difference between dreaming of change and actually changing lies in the next 24 hours. While you postpone the first step, others are implementing exactly what you just learned, building momentum through consistent action. Start tomorrow morning. Within the first 20 minutes of waking up, implement the morning power ritual. Write your goals with the precision of an architect. And every night, build internal evidence by reviewing your daily victories, no matter how small. Napoleon Hill discovered that when a person aligns their conscious thoughts, subconscious programming, and physical actions towards the same goal, they become literally irresistible. Not irresistible to others, irresistible to opportunities, irresistible to solutions, irresistible to success itself. You are not ordinary. That's exactly why you've made it this far, why your mind sought out these answers. Now you have the tools that transformed visionaries into achievers. The only question that remains is, are you ready to apply what has always been within your reach? Remember, your moment is now.